Y'all. Welcome to Story Time with a Grown Woman. That's swag and the W is silent. Y'all, I see people, I see people posting the tea, you know. They posting the tea about Jeezy and Jeannie Mai and the divorce and all of that. And all of us are going to be, giving our 2 cents as to why they're divorcing. Do we know? Mm-mm. Everything is speculations. Uh, I'm giving the tea with this Long Island iced tea. Oh boy. So if you guys have been on Story Time with a Grown Woman, you have seen where I talk about my club tales and stuff like that. Well, we're talking about Jeezy today. We talking about how Jeezy ran to the courthouse and said, F this, F this right here, this ain't gonna work. Jesus said this ain't gonna work. I got my popcorn. Again, if you've been on my channel, you'll see that I eat popcorn. Why? Because it's low fat for one. Something quick. And besides wine and a good drink, it goes really well with stuff that's juicy. And this juicy. But I can't eat popcorn and talk about this. I can, but I ain't. Y'all, Jesus done went to the courthouse and filed for divorce. Now, I saw a few videos, not videos, but like shorts. And, now everybody's speculating, about the marriage was faulty from the beginning, this and that. For me, and I've uploaded a video on my channel as well, and I probably went more into detail on my video than versus this live because I wasn't gonna go live, but I remember that there were some things I didn't talk about. Now, Jeezy has ran to the courthouse and was like, "F this, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm out, I'm out." And the turns of events are weird. Okay, so Jeezy just filed when a couple of days ago, Thursday, and within the same week, we see Jeannie Mai posting this kumbaya video with her and their child together, promoting his book, all of this. Okay, so that's what Jeannie Mai is doing. Now, Jeezy, on the other hand, is on his social media posting how, and a lot of these pictures and stuff are going to be, they're on the video on my channel. So Jeezy is he posted up on a Benz or some kind of car talking about moving on without people moving on with him, meaning he like he about to do some stuff on his own. So Jeannie Mai Kubayaing with their daughter. Jeezy talking about moving on and doing stuff without apparently her. And then he runs to the courthouse. He's like, let me go to this courthouse. So he's going to the courthouse. So all of these things are happening within the same time frame. Like the pictures are like a day or two or whatever. Jeezy files divorce on Thursday. It's Saturday, y'all. It's Saturday. So all of these pictures, it's not like this was a month ago. Like this was recently. So it's like something is weird about this. What is causing Jeezy to file for divorce and his wife over here praying for her husband and her baby daddy? Like what? So I'm not a tea blogger or nothing. My channel is a Country Wayne reaction video channel. I promote being submissive to your husband, being feminine. That's what I promote. So that's why there was so many red flags, because Jeannie Mai appears to be that girl, right? Jeannie Mai is like Asian descent, I guess. Like, dang, what is she is like Korean or something. Well, either way, she's like Asian descent. And everybody knows that Asian women are what men deem as the perfect woman. Asian women are those women who are submissive in bed, submissive with their husband, ride or die. If you look at her, she's pretty, she's fit, she's like all of this stuff that these men want. She has her own money, she does her own thing. Hey, so it's perfect. Now, granted, I was mad at Jeezy when he married her. I didn't mind him beating the guts out. I didn't mind all of that. Fine. But when he married her, I was like really kind of upset. But as I continue to see how our people treat me, I was like, you know what? I kind of understand. I kind of understand. Because ain't nobody going to put up with that either, right? So on my other channel, I talked about the prenup and stuff like that. I didn't go into detail or anything like that because I'm not one of those channels. So, but he did have, according to the article that I read on hiphopnc.com, it says that he did have a prenup. So he was smart about that. These are things that I didn't cover on the video on my channel. So he did have a prenup. Her net worth is $4 million, and of course, these are just online. We don't know for sure. But her net worth is $4 million. His net worth is $10 million. So he has more than her. Jeezy is a grown man. Jeezy is 40-something years old. And Jeannie Mai, I say 30, 40-ish. I don't know. You know, that gender of people, they can be 100 and look 60. So I don't know. But either way, they both grown, right? So again, think back. Remember, keep this in your head. She's singing Kumbaya with the daughter, promoting his book. He's talking about moving on by himself and going to the courthouse. Nothing weighs here. It's all like, what the hell? So one of my friends called me and he was like, girl, that's a publicity stunt. And I'm like, you think so? He's already number one on the New York best time seller, whatever. He's already number one. She's already promoted his book on her channel with her Instagram with 3 million followers. I don't know her other stuff. I don't even follow her. I don't like her like that. Because when she started dealing with him, she brought back to me the time when J-Lo thought she was hood until she got with Diddy in the hood. And then that real Diddy life showed up and she left because she couldn't take that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like Jeannie Mai for that. And also, it was deemed that she said she wouldn't deal with a black man. She'll deal with a black man for looks and possibly a baby. She deal with a white man because they have more balance in a relationship. You know, she said some really effed up stuff. She has said some really effed up stuff in her life or in her time, you know, on air or whatever. Again, I'm not a fan of her, but there's some of the things she said. So on my other channel, I said, okay, she got the man, she got the baby, she got this, she got that. Why the heck can't Jeezy deal with her? I mean, this is a total red flag. It's always a red flag when a man files for a divorce. That is always a red flag. Men don't typically file for divorce. But they are doing it more and more now. When you look, you see Joe Manganiello. He said, "F this. I'm finna go find somebody that's gonna give me some DNA. Like, I ain't got time for this." Joe got out of that. I think that's Kevin Costner recently got a divorce. He fought that big $200,000 a month request that she wanted. He fought that. He said, F that, I'm not finna pay her this much money. He fought that. He's not paying that. I think that's Richard Lawson that was married to Tina. we saw him dancing after his divorce. He like, hey, Neo had like 3 women he was holding after he got his divorce. Like, people are like, men are like, bump this. I'm not taking this like my father did, or like my father's father did, or they're like, I'm not taking this. I don't have to take this. So Jeezy was the same way. So I felt like maybe Jeezy had lost himself and just wasn't Jeezy no more, right? Until y'all, until what? Until I Google her name and I start seeing different articles with her. And I saw one from the Jasmine brand. And the Jasmine brand had, you know what? Let me see. I was going to try to just remember it. But the Jasmine brand, this was in 2021 when they first got married, I think. Oh, and y'all, keep this timeline in your head too. They dated from like 2018, 2019. On my other channel, I talked about how they met on The View, on whatever that show was. They met on that. But they didn't date. I think she was already still married. And I remember this too. She was married for 10 years to a white man. So she was married for 10 years, right? So let's see if I can find it. On the Jasmine brand, Jeannie Mai reveals her relationship with Jeezy helped her to realize she had a hot temper. Okay? Plus, attributes changing her mind about having children, being in a trustworthy relationship. So this was the title of the Jasmine Brand's article. So again, I have already put together the turns of events. She's singing Kumbaya. He's singing F that whole I'm about to move on. And he had demonstrated that by going to the courthouse. All this was within the same time frame. So once I came across this, I said, they got married. Well, they started dating 2018, 2019, right? They got engaged in 2020, married in 2021, baby in 2021. Dated 2019, engaged 2020, which is fine. She put that snapper on them. If you know, they say that the Asian women and women like that in those other countries are trained to maneuver their kitties in a certain way where they can kind of like trap a man, right? So on my other channel, I said, did she put that thing on him during the pandemic? Because all of this was during the pandemic time. And again, this is stuff that I didn't talk about on this channel. I talked about this on my other channel, Blabbing with Yo-Yo. So then I'm like, did she put that thing on him for them to be getting married this quick? But again, he's with a different type of woman. Jesus used to women, but he used to like that Asian woman who's that submissive woman, who's that ride or die woman, who's that friendly, and I'll just do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I love you anyway. He's not used to that. So I'm like, okay, he's kind of calming down, losing himself, and he's gonna be with her. And again, on the video that I made, I said that it's okay to calm down and become a better person. So yeah, maybe that's what was happening. That ain't it. That ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. This woman was married for 10 years. 10 years to a white man. No children. In fact, they got a divorce because she didn't want children. And that's what's weird to me, because Joe Manganiello divorced Sofia Vergara because he wanted children. I mean, why is this not a topic at all? But either way, either here nor there. Okay, so she was married for 10 years, no children. They divorced because she didn't want children and he did. And maybe some other stuff. Again, I don't follow her. So then, again, remember, 2019 date, 2020 engaged, 2021 married, 2021 baby, 2023, I'm out of this piece. I'm out of this piece. So, reel it in, okay? This article by the JasmineBrand.com. Jeannie Mai reveals her relationship with Jeezy helped her realize she had a hot temper plus attributes changing her mind about having children to being in a trustworthy relationship. So now she got to try to water it down. She got to, because she don't, before people start adding up, calculating the time frames, she got to try to fix this. Remind you, this article was October 21st, 28, 2021. They got married March 2021. So now she got it, but it's probably no telling when they had it, but just when it was published. But either way, she got to try to play it off now and try to say, because I'm with Jeezy, I decided to have, but that ain't it. This was a pandemic, baby. Remember we was on lockdown and everybody in there, at home. Nobody can go nowhere. She got Jeezy. We all know what well, maybe not everybody know what that thug love is, but that thug passion, what Tupac talked about, if you don't know, Google it. But that thug passion, it ain't no joke. So what happened? Pandemic time. He beat them good. Okay, I'm really working on my femininity here. But articles like this kind of take me out of that and make me not be girly. I'm not girly anyway. But anyway, I don't want to say certain things. So let me think about how I can say it. So they're spending more time with each other. Let me give it to you. They're spending more time with each other and they're being intimate with each other. I can't say that because that's not what it was. That's not what it was. Jesus was beating them guts out, right? It's apparent that this woman was on. It's apparent that this woman was on some type of birth control because she was married for 10 years. She was married for 10 years, y'all. But when she got with Jeezy, pandemic time, them swimmers was moving. And they cut through that birth control. Now she's pregnant. So it's like, I can't be a baby mama, Jeezy. I can't be a baby mama. Jeezy was like, all right. Now, this is unfortunate here that he does have children with other women that are grown. Jeezy more than likely didn't want no children. Jeezy is 40-something years old. Why would he want a baby? Like, really, she was the perfect fit for him. She didn't want children. His children are grown. I mean, so now you're pregnant. Now you got to get married. And the reason I said it, because I have a cousin in this situation. He was with one of them other women. All the women like us, they was just like baby mamas. Now, he was married for a while too, but his other children was like baby mamas. So, unfortunately, when it comes to those other women, black men do, or I don't like to call race, our men will marry them quicker or faster. So, pandemic time, he beating it up, and she gets pregnant. So now they got to walk down the aisle. Granted, he loved her. I don't deny that he had a strong, desire and love for Jeannie Mai. I don't doubt that at all. But the baby in this marriage, I really believe it was pushed on him because this was like bounce, 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 like 2019, 2020, 2021. Like it's boom, 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 boom. Like Jeezy is a controlled man. This man, kids are grown. So I really do believe that she more than likely got pregnant, and that's why he married her. And looking at shorts, I see a lot of people saying that they just didn't see how this was gonna work and all this and that. I didn't care nothing about that. When he married her, I'm from Georgia, and if you watch any of my videos, you will see where I talk about being from Georgia. So I'm definitely a fan of Jeezy, but I stopped supporting him, buying his brands after he married her. But again, I began to understand why he married her after I would get treated so bad by my own people. So I was like, I kind of understand. But hunty, when I saw this, I said, you know what? Jesus didn't lose himself. He didn't. And that's why Jesus ran to that courthouse and that's why she was doing what she was doing all in at the same time frame. So let me tell you, let me read it to you. All right. This is Jeannie Mai in the article. I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy. So she's admitting that she's got this hot temper, right? She's admitting that people on the outside, like us, like the people who watch that show, The Real, thank you, The Real, okay? So people that watch The Real, her fans, and whatever else she does, because I don't follow her, they don't see this. She said, I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this. Just looking at her, would you notice that? Knowing that she's like one of those Asian type women that are submissive and and sweet and so this, would you have noticed that if you on the outside looking in? Oh, you wouldn't have noticed that either. So she goes on to say, but it's just something in my family, but I didn't notice it until I got with Jeezy. It has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person. I didn't notice I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. Here's a person who is my equal. He ain't your damn equal. Here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew out some of my old habits, he was like, no. No, he was like, I ain't gonna say what he said. I said that on my other video. And then he said, that's not flying here. And it would trigger him to come back at me. It wasn't no trigger, Jeannie Mai. That was Jeezy. That was the Jeezy that I thought he had lost himself when he got with you. That's the Jeezy that I thought he had lost himself. That wasn't no trigger. That was Jeezy. Okay? You was married to a white man for 10 years. And we all know white men are simps, punks, and they are the ones who create those Karens. Those Karens are at home. They do what they want to do. They say what they want to say. And those men just go along with it. Okay? So that was no trigger, Jeannie Mai. But if you want to say that. All right. So she said that he was like, no, that's not flying here. And it would trigger him to come back at me. So through work, we learn that we both have certain habits that everyday persons, friends, family, and fans will never see. Ain't no we. You notice, Jeannie Mai, that you had those issues. Jeezy was Jeezy. Jeezy gonna straighten the B regardless. That wasn't nothing he learned, but okay, if you want to put it in here all whitewashed, that's fine. Okay, so it goes on to say, but to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, that dragon comes out. So here she's saying that she goes into her little episodes. Okay. So, whatever would cause her to go into those episodes. So those episodes that white man put up with, I don't know his name. Maybe I said it in my other video. I don't know. But those episodes that he put up with, Jeezy wasn't putting up with that. Jeezy was not putting up with that. It says, and we both have it. So we had to work on that. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and wanted to change it. No, when he said, B, you better straighten that, that's when he was telling you, you better fix that temper. And you kept on, and you kept on, and you kept on. And you so used to the man that you was with just letting you hit on him, curse him out, and just have that temper release at home, and he just go into the bedroom or wherever to get away from you. And when he come home or when you calm down, he rub on you and say it's okay. See, you got that J-Lo experience. Yeah, yeah. When you thought you could do that, Jesus was like, "Nah, B, we don't play that over here. You need to fix that." And you didn't fix that. So that was the difference. So it's like, was she a decent woman? Was she, a woman who kind of like fits that narrative that men want, the women that are submissive and would be ride or die, and who's fit and who's beautiful and inspirational, is what KS used to say. FBI fit, feminine, beautiful, inspiration. Like, was she that woman? Probably. But she was that woman with that temper. That temper that Jesus said, F this, I'm not finna put up with this. And Jeezy went to the courthouse. Now, about 5 o'clock this morning, me and one of my friends was talking on the phone, and he said, I think it's the publicity stunt. I said, you do? I said, I don't know. It could be. I don't know. Only time will tell. He talked about how Cardi B and Offset, Cardi B and damn, is that her husband's name? But anyway, Cardi B and her husband, how they did the same thing whenever she had an album coming out. And I told him, I said, well, maybe, but was there an actual divorce decree signed? Like, Jeezy has gone to the courthouse. He has gone to the courthouse and filed. And yeah, he can dismiss it and not go through with it. That's true. But he's already, like, the only thing I know that I haven't been following him. I told y'all that I stopped following him. I stopped supporting him. So I don't know what he has going on. But he's already on the New York Times bestseller list. So his book is elevated. He's gotten to that point. He don't need us to read his book. He's already gotten there. So what else is he trying to promote? I don't know. But all I can say is this. That temper in the article, a black man, especially Jeezy, ain't gonna put up with it. He ain't gonna put up with it. And again, I saw a few shorts where people were saying that, they just didn't think that they were a match and this and that. They were a match, because it will take a woman like that, regardless of the race, to kind of like change or conform a man like Jeezy into a better man. He's going to always have that hustle that he had. He's always going to be that man's man that a lot of people don't promote these days. They call toxic masculinity because you are a man. he's always going to be that, but it's going to be that woman that actually kind of softens him and say, okay, maybe if we do it this way. So yeah, that was a pretty decent match. But I really do believe that they only got married because she was pregnant. And he probably had the notion or the goal to stay married. But Jesus was not going to put up with that attitude or that temper or whatever she would do, as she stated in that article. The dragon would come out. So we all know when it comes to dragon, the fire and all the chaos comes out. And again, he's not going to put up with that. So to me, though, as I put that timeline of the baby, the marriage, and all of that together, and the timeline of her with her previous husband for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years she was with him. No kids. Jeezy, kids. White men, they just take whatever their wives do to them. Black men, they love you. They love their family. They love their children. They love just as hard as any other race. But they are the man. When you get a real man, a masculine man, he is the man. A woman is not going to come in and be able to dictate the home. And I really think that's where she messed up. So let's talk about it, guys. What do you think? What have you heard when it comes to this divorce? Like or the filings? What have you heard, or what did you think caused it? Did you ever even think about the fact that maybe they got married because she was pregnant? Like, is that anything that ever crossed your mind? Let's talk about it. So, like I said earlier, one of my friends called me today and was telling me that he felt like it was a publicity stunt. And this is him right here. I'm telling him I think I figured out why they got divorced. But yeah, so I guess nobody wants to talk. I see a couple people in here. But yeah, that was a pandemic baby. I talked about that on my other channel. I think it was a pandemic baby. And I think that she did get pregnant and wasn't planning to, because this woman was adamant that she was not going to have children. 10 years with a man, with a husband, but she was with a black man. And I go in depth on my video on this channel, so check that video out. I go way in depth on what happened in the house. But yeah, so yeah, Shereen, I'm telling you, like, man, something ain't right. Because again, it's sad that he would marry her and not marry the other women he was with. It's sad. But he didn't take that crap off of her either. And he had a prenup. So some people feel like prenups don't work. Prenups don't work if you don't have the right thing in your prenup. But Jeezy is smart. Jeezy, like I said earlier, Jeezy has, his net worth is $10 million. Jeannie Mai's is $4 million. Jeezy is a businessman. Yeah. And Jeezy from the streets. And that's another thing, y'all. I talked about Steve Harvey and Marjorie. That's another example. Marjorie came from that dope game background, okay? And she ran a drug ring for her husband or with him. And then when he wasn't able to, she ran that shit, she ran it. And that level of street smarts, when you take that level of smartness from the streets and put that in legit businesses, it goes. Look at 50 Cent. Look at Diddy. Like, look at those guys. Look at Jay-Z. All those guys that came from that background, they got that hustle mindset. So it's like they know how to make that money. But during their times before they hit it big, they were just making it another type of way. So Jesus was like, I'm gonna protect mine. He got him a prenup. He had a prenup. And again, it depends on what's in the prenup that make the prenup not work. But I think if he was smart enough to have a prenup, because she signed it willingly, she wanted to keep hers. And also, even with Joe Manganiello and Sofia Vergara, they had a prenup. And that's why their divorce was so smooth. Like in that prenup, it said something to the effect of, you keep yours, I keep mine. It was just like a breakup. They didn't have no children, no nothing. And that's like even with me, when I got my divorce, we didn't have children. It was like a breakup. So I really think Jesus was smart when it came to that. And I think that he was not going to put up with that hot temper that she talked about when she got. And you know what? Now that I think about it, that article was in 2021. She got married in 2021. And more than likely, they wasn't living together because she lives in California. He lives in Atlanta. I'm from Georgia. So he lives in Atlanta, which is Fulton County, where he filed for divorce. And so they on like two ends of the globe. So it's like he wants joint custody. So how is all of that gonna work? I don't know. All I know is he was smart. He had a prenup. He wasn't gonna take her crap. He went to the courthouse and he filed. And more men are filing today. Just like a lot of women are saying they don't want to be married, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. Well, men ain't putting up with it either. Men are not putting up with women's crap. They said no. And when you get with a Jeezy say F no. Jeezy say F no. So now that I've made my videos, I would take the time to watch other people's videos and see what they're talking about and see if they come up with what I said. But it's so far, the only thing that I have seen is people saying they didn't think it was going to work anyway. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Shireen Banks, for commenting. And I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go to the gym now. I have a fancy dinner later tonight. And I'm going to go get ready for that. So let's talk about it in the comments, guys. And please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification for when I upload a video. And I will see you, as always, in the next video. Bye.